Hey guys, it's Besa, and it's time for another episode of The Rewind with Besa. This week, I don't have a guest just because I just felt like I had some things to say. Sometimes it's like that. We will definitely have to talk about Uncle Snoop. Obviously, we all love Snoop Dogg, so there will be no true Snoop Dogg slander over here. However, I do have some thoughts on his recent comments about WAP, okay? In a recent interview, I don't remember where he was being interviewed at. Obviously, I'm going to play the video so you'll be able to see it there. But he was asked about WAP and his thoughts on the song WAP. And like a lot of older rappers, he had some, I don't want to say negative things to say about the song, but he definitely had no issues letting us know that he didn't appreciate how sexual it was. And he decided to bring the kids into it. And we'll talk about why I was a little bit annoyed with that in a second. Check out this clip in case you missed it.
WAP.
Oh my God. Slow down. Slow down.
Okay.
Slow down. And let's have some imagination. Let's have some, privacy, some intimacy where he wants to find out as opposed to you telling him. To me, it's like it's too fashionable. When that is secrecy, that should be a woman's. That's like your pride and possession. That's your jewel of the now. That's what you should hold on to. That should be a possession that no one gets to know about until they know about it.
So I would imagine you have conversations like this with your daughter.
But my daughter is from a different era, though. She's from this era, so she may be doing the WAP, or, you know what I'm saying, a part of the WAP, and I can't be mad at her because it's her generation, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like the things that I would rather see, because I'm an older man. Mm-hmm. Now, when I was young, 21, 22, I may have been with the movement. I probably would have been on a remix. But as an older man, it's like, I love it that they're expressing themselves and they doing their thing. I just don't want it that fashionable to where young girls feel like they can express themselves like that without even knowing that is a jewel that they hold on to until the right person comes around.
Now, Offset did have some things to say about this, but because it's Uncle Snoop, he was very, very careful. But because it's Uncle Snoop, he was very careful with his words. Check out what Offset had to say in response.
What is your reaction to Snoop saying Cardi should slow down when discussing her privates?
Who said that?
Snoop Dogg.
I love Snoop, man. She grown. I don't get in female business, so I'm gonna just stay at that. Like, I hate when men do that.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't care if a girl would have said something bad about me. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get in female business. I'm grown. I'm from the South, though. So maybe the rules and the laws is different. And then, like, you know what I'm saying? It's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? That's the #1 record. So anybody can say what they want to do and say what they want to say. It's 6-time platinum in 3-4 months. It's the #1 record. And it wasn't that bad because it went #1.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As rappers, we talk about the same shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So it's like,
we should be able to talk about our WAPs if we want.
Especially for woman empowerment. Especially for men can't speak on women. They're too powerful, first off. And it's a lot of woman empowerment. Like, don't shoot it down. We never had this many artists as female artists running this shit. They catching up to us, like passing us and sending records. And, you know what I'm saying? That's 2 women on 1 record. That's a very successful record. I really fuck with Snoop, like, on a personal level. You know what I'm saying? So I could personally call him and be like, Snoop, come on now. You know what I mean? I don't want to seem like I'm dissing that shit. Snoop, that's my boy. But at the same time, I say all men should stay out of women business, because that's women business. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have no win. The comments probably looking crazy from just saying stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Here's my thing. I feel that what Snoop Dogg said is correct in terms of, you definitely don't want little girls singing this song thinking that it's okay to just hand your WAP out to any goddamn body. You know what I mean? Like, I recently was on a date with someone that I met from Bumble, and at the end of the day, he was trying to smash on the first date. And it's like, sir, I've really known you for about 10 hours. Are you crazy? No. So, and it's not to say that that's never happened before, but what it is to say is it's my choice, right? So when it comes to these little girls, sometimes hearing songs like this, yes, from time to time, they will sit up here and be like, well, she's doing it, so why can't I do it? But let's be really, really frank here. Sometimes that really comes from the household also. You know, personally, I don't have any children. So when, when rappers say things like, I feel like women shouldn't be rapping about their wops, but yet you got songs called Sexual Seduction and you talking about how she got some bomb ass, what? It's kind of hard for me to take you seriously. Although Snoop Dogg is someone that used to be a pimp, for you to now sit here and be like, oh, that's important, like that's your virtue and you're only supposed to give it to people that deserve it. But yet you were selling women years ago. So, I think it's important for artists that are his age to make sure that he is, one, remembering that, yeah, you used to do this. So why are we even having this damn conversation? I mean, obviously, those were his honest thoughts. Like, he's trying to say, I'm not that interested in things like that anymore. But, no shade. It's very interesting where he's like, I'm an older man now, and this isn't really what I'm looking for, and this isn't what I want. And, I want a little bit more seduction, and I want a little bit more mystique. Yet, wasn't he rumored to be sleeping with Selena Powell? I would find a screenshot or a video of it, but I don't have the energy to do so. So all I'm saying in this particular case is I do, to an extent, agree with Snoop Dogg in terms of, music can be a little over-sexualized. And we don't necessarily want little girls running around screaming, singing about their wops in the middle of class. However, I feel like it takes me back to this whole thing where I don't remember what the topic was, but years ago, but people got mad at me because I was like, you guys need to be raising your damn kids. I find it so crazy to me that someone like Snoop Dogg, who, let me see if I can find this goddamn photo, used to legit walk around happily looking like this, is going to sit here and be like, oh, well, women shouldn't be singing about their wops. And it's like, with all due respect, a woman's WAP is how you used to make a good amount of money, and you didn't even have to do it back in the day. In case you guys forgot, and again, we're not trying to shade Uncle Snoop. It's just the reality of it, sir. We're going to take it back to an interview that he did with Vlad, okay? And within the interview, he kind of talks about how he used to be a pimp and how he ended up falling in love with one of his hoes. Check this out. Let me grab it.
I interviewed Bishop Don Magic One.
Judge!
About a week ago. Incredible interview. The one thing he said, because, in your movie, you mentioned the whole, how you actually got into pimping and stuff like that. And the one thing that I talked to Bishop was that, he said a lot of people thought that he pushed you into that. But in fact, he was saying how he told you to go back with your wife.
Him, Minister Seymour, and a couple of other real pimps kept it 100. They didn't want that for me. But I wanted that. I was a kid, and I dreamed of being a pimp like my whole life. Like that was all I seen as a kid was a nigga with his nails done. He had a light blue suit on with 7 bitches, and they all had on baby blue like him. He had a baby blue Cadillac. When he jumped out, they opened the door. They go set it up for him, bring him money. He ride up on us, call me to the car. What's up, Slim? Break me off a few dollars, let me sit behind the wheel of his Cadillac, turn the steering wheel, put his hat on, and look up at him like, man, I want to be like you. You understand what I'm saying? So when I was finally able to do that, to really say, man, I'm finna really jump off into this pimping shit. These bitches really like me, and I really feel like I got the pimping in me. So, with disrespect to my wife and my everything, I went on a pimping binge for about 2 years straight. Like for real. Real hoes, real pimping. But I fell in love with a bitch. That's why I had to do a movie called Bossing Up. Because the first rule of pimping is, thou shalt not love a hoe.
So I play all of that to say this. In this music game, it seems to be a game, or shall I say a career, a lifestyle, whatever you want to call it, where one, you do things for entertainment. 2, you rap and sing about things for entertainment. And 3, you talk about what you're living. So if Cardi, who used to be a stripper, and Meg, who stayed talking about her, you know what, because for her, it is women empowerment. I find it so crazy to me that men can sit here and say anything and everything that they want about a woman's body part and what they, 1, expect it to do, and 2, what it possibly might not be doing, and 3, the things that they may not appreciate that it does or does not do. But it's okay when you guys do it, right? The moment that a woman takes pride in her body parts, the moment that a woman is like, she has a WAP while you're running around talking about mandingos, like I don't understand the hypocrisy, and I frankly do not appreciate it. Again, it's not to say that what he is saying is incorrect. It is more so a thing of, if you ask me, it's a little bit mischanneled. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many male artists run around talking about drugs, killing, gang banging, all of that. So it's like, at that particular point, we basically just have to stop all music, right? Because The Weeknd raps about drugs, Drake raps about drugs, 21 Savage raps about drugs, Ariana Grande sings about sex. You know, like, so at that particular point, is any music okay? Is anything okay to listen to? I've definitely listened to songs that I had to play on air and I was like, what the heck are they talking about on here? Can we really play this? Is this okay? Yeah, it's okay. You're able to play it. You know why? Because with all due respect, as someone that does not have kids, one of the reasons I don't have any children, if I'm really being frank with you guys, is because aside from the fact that I just don't want the responsibility of taking care of a child right now, I also don't want the responsibility of feeling like I have failed my child if they don't go in the direction that I want them to go in, right? You know, I'm not trying to say that someone has failed you if you end up having a child at a really, really young age. But I know that sometimes some parents are like, damn, where did I go wrong? How did this happen? You know, when you have the kids that go to jail really, really young, you end up having parents in the back of their head for years and years and years being like, where did I go wrong? How did I go wrong? I don't feel like dealing with that right now. I really, really don't. And so because of that, I feel that I am able to say this. I do not feel that it is fair, let alone responsible, for you to constantly be like, we have children that are watching this. The kids are going to be watching this. We don't want kids singing about this and not understanding that. You should be instilling these things in your children. With all due respect to Snoop Dogg, I don't even know where the freaking video is, but his daughter just dropped a new music video and she's butt naked, basically singing about her WAP, but not calling it a WAP. So I'm just like, the hypocrisy, sir. And maybe it was just a situation of him not expecting that question and he tried to answer it the best that he could. He didn't do a bad job answering the question. I just feel that at some point, we, 1, have to stop coming at women for talking about our power. My WAP is my power. It's mine. I do what I want to do with it. I give it to who I want to give it to, and I keep it when I want to keep it. You know what I'm saying? If I want to talk about it, I can do that. You know why? Because it's mine. Same thing with men. They talk about what their junk do. They talk about how they like to do things, but yet nobody says anything to them. At least not as of lately. You know what I'm saying? You can sit here and talk about drugs all you want to, but it almost seems like nobody really has any issues with the drug culture in music until a kid passes out, or, you know, a celebrity dies from an overdose, and all of a sudden now the conversation is brought back up. No, the conversation should never go away if it's that damn serious to you guys. But you know how things are around here. Things go in the back of your head. It's like out of sight, out of mind. I don't even care anymore. Because let's be frank, I grew up in middle school listening to Kaya, My Neck, My Back, was able to sing the song, or rap the song, if you will, word for word, singing Pretty Ricky, all types of crazy stuff. My butt should not have been singing, rapping. I shouldn't have even known about them damn songs. But guess what? I did. I knew about them, but my family instilled very much so into me when I was younger. If I'm going to have any children, I need to be married, and that's on period. Now, I'm still single. and I ain't got no goddamn kids. Now, obviously, my life could have gone a completely different direction, and I could have somehow, some way ended up having a child, but I decided not to because I just didn't want to deal with the responsibility of taking care of one. And to me, one of them is making sure that if your child is listening to a song like WAP, you are instilling proper things into your child to where she is not tossing that thing out. Yeah. Tossing that thing out. It's your job to make sure your child is simply not being a hoe. I don't really know how else to put that. Sit here and, give your child good examples. Make sure your child is educated. But at the end of the day, kids are going to do what the heck they want to do. So I say all of that once again to say this. Let's stop blaming celebrities, because even Rihanna came out and was like, raise your own kids. I'm a rock star. She ain't got no kids. Like, stop. So, do I disagree with Uncle Snoop? No, not necessarily. But I also have to note, Cardi B is a grown-ass woman. Period. If she wants to sing about her body part, she can. Just like if men want to sing about the body parts that they expect for women to have and how they expect for them to work, you do. Next subject. Now, speaking of instilling the proper things in your damn children, that brings me on to the last subject. Honestly, Snoop Dogg was going to be the only thing that I talked about today, but while I was getting ready, I saw this video of B Simone. As some of you may or may not know, one of the things that B Simone always does is she talks about how she wants to be with DaBaby. There's literally an episode of Wildin' Out where she marries DaBaby. She's in like one of his music videos. They were like cool for a little bit, kicking it. As far as we know, they never got together. They were just like really, really close friends. We don't necessarily 100% know if she has always been serious about how she feels about DaBaby. But right now, DaBaby is dating DaniLeigh, who I've actually met. She's actually really nice. And to my surprise, well, not even to my surprise, I knew that at some particular point, B Simone would come out and say something about the two of them being together. However, this is not what I expected. And I'm going to put this out there. I know that she's a comedian, and I know that she might not be that serious about what she's saying, but I'm going to let you know why it's problematic. So check this out.
That bitch is cute. She's cute. She's cute and she's Latin. She just bought her family a fucking house in DR.
Stop.
Fuck about my family a house. I can't even buy me a house yet. I still stay in an apartment. Fuck. I follow her, been following her since my little baby. That's my favorite song by DaniLeigh, period. Beautiful. She's Latin. Latin bitches already have the upper hand. Bitches speak two languages and fucking spiciness is in your blood. That's not fair.
Okay. Chili peppers.
Chili peppers, bitch. Like, Latin bitches they come out the vagina sexy. Like, how are you sexy at 2, bitch? You're a fucking infant. Why are you walking around in diapers sexy? I had to grow into my sexiness, bitch. I'm still working on it.
So here's my problem with that. Although I know that B Simone was joking, everybody knows most jokes have a little bit of truth to it, okay? The simple fact that she said she gonna start running around talking about how she's Dominican, the simple fact that she said that Latin girls already have the upper hand and that, she has curly hair, I feel like that is problematic, okay? And it's problematic because we all know that there is this stigma that a lot of Black men cater to Latin women more, which some Black men might, but that doesn't mean that all Black men do. So for me, I think my biggest annoyance is for her to sit here and be like, all Dominican girls have the upper hand. DaniLeigh has the upper hand because she speaks Spanish. No, sis, she has the upper hand on you. Okay? She has the upper hand on you. I have this problem with people lumping all Black people into one freaking pot. That's number one. And number two, I was watching the video from Loho, and she was saying, I'm kind of feeling like this isn't even a dark-skinned girl fight. She was like, I kind of feel like this is more so of a light-skinned versus light-skinned fight. Now, in terms of colorism, there is obviously hierarchies to skin tones, okay? As we all may or may not know, JT from the City Girls came out, or at least some of her old tweets came out saying she doesn't mind dark-skinned girls, but she don't want them too crispy. Now, that is in tune with that dark-skinned girl that feels that she's that chick when there's another dark-skinned girl at the same table as her that's a little bit darker. So in this particular case, what Eloha was basically saying is a light-skinned woman that might feel like, okay, I'm good. I'm sitting up here because I'm light-skinned. And then a light-skinned Latina comes in. All of a sudden, she's like, well, damn, never mind. I done lost. And it's like, really? Let me tell you something. I would be capping if I said that I grew up with all of the confidence distilled in me that I needed at this particular point in my life, because I wasn't. And I've had to figure the shit out as I go. Okay. At the end of the day, I don't care what race that you are. We are all beautiful in our own way. There are so many people that are not necessarily, I don't know, classified as beautiful or classified as sexy, but there's something about them that makes them sexy. Typically, what makes someone sexy is their confidence. There is nothing more unattractive than a man with no confidence. I don't care what you look like. And sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of the times that goes for women too. Doesn't matter if you're male, doesn't matter if you're female. If you have no confidence, a lot of the times you're not going to look good. Your arms are all slouched. Your clothes are all wrinkled. You probably got holes in your damn shoes. Like, you just don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? There's no confidence. No confidence equals no swagger. And on that matter, you can't be running around being thirsty. Well, we're not going to go there. This video is not even about that. I have thoughts on that, but we'll save that for another day. At the end of the day, I think that DaniLeigh and DaBaby are very, very cute. But do I necessarily feel that DaniLeigh has something up on B Simone because she's Latina and she speaks Spanish? No, I do not. I just think that DaBaby don't like her like that. Period. And what I do not want is for other light-skinned little girls to go running around being like, oh my God, because I'm not Latina, these women are better than me. And that goes back to what I was saying with, Snoop Dogg. What are y'all instilling in your children? You know what I'm saying? It is ridiculous. How many more times as a child, I frankly could have been told I was pretty. I was cute. Something positive. You know what I'm saying? Something to kind of pep me up a little bit. And this is no shade to my family, but I definitely felt that I got more praises outside of my family than inside of my family. I had the most disrespect in terms of the way that I looked from my own goddamn relatives. Period. They were the main ones that made me always feel like I was ugly. I was too dark. My hair was nappy. My teeth were jacked up. I thought my teeth are straight now. Child, I had a cousin that used to call me Bucktooth so goddamn much that I had my mom get me braces. So I say all of that to say this. With everything that we've talked about today, WAP, B Simone's jokes. Don't get me wrong. I feel like they're jokes. She said that they've only met each other twice, so they're not even like cool like that. But you feel that way somewhere. You may not feel that way on the surface, but you feel that way somewhere. The main video that actually made her go viral, if I'm not mistaken, she said that was a real video. Like, yes, it was funny to us, but like some dude really ended up breaking her heart. And it was a hilarious viral video that a lot of women was feeling, but it was a serious video. So in that particular case where you have comedy, we all know that comedy comes from somewhat of a true space. Kevin Hart, people aren't really feeling him that much because they feel like his comedy isn't as real as it used to be. Or maybe it's just that he's not around the same people that he used to be around, to where his comedy was a little bit more relatable. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you are loving on your children, whether they're white, Latino, African American, East Indian. I don't give a shit what they are. Love on your children. Make sure that they feel so confident from you that when they leave the house, they can run around singing WAP and still not end up on a corner years later, right? They can have a boy that likes them and know that even if this little boy did pick that girl because she's Latina and he feels like that's better, she knows that's his problem and not hers. At the end of the day, what the fuck do I... At the end of the day, why do I want to be with a man that does not want me because of my Black features? I don't want you. Like, what? Why would I want to change myself to make you want me? That doesn't make any sense. Now, it used to make sense to me. It really, really did. Nowadays, it don't make no goddamn sense to me. Ain't nobody got time for that. So, look. Hopefully you guys got something from today's video. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a rant, but I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about Snoop Dogg and what he had to say about WAP? You know, at the end of the day, it's not that he's necessarily wrong, but at the same time, who the heck are you to tell somebody what they should sing or rap about, sir? Sexual seduction, child. And then what do you also think about B Simone saying that Latin women already have the upper hand? That is a very problematic statement. I don't care if she's playing or not. It's problematic, period. It creates, or shall I say, it tries to, or almost slight weight solidifies what a lot of other races think. I don't know what it is about African Americans, but for some reason, we love to down ourselves. I don't see this as much in other races, and maybe they do it. I just don't see it. Maybe I don't know, but I don't see it on my damn timeline. I know that sometimes you go on TikTok and you see little Black girls talking about, oh my God, everybody wants the white girls, everybody wants the Latin girls, and you're literally downing yourself. So again, where is that confidence? So I take this back to the parents. Make sure you are instilling confidence in your children. Make sure that you have them so confident in themselves that even when they go to school and people are trying to tease them, they are okay. And if they're constantly getting teased in school, take them out of freaking school and stop having them be subjected to something like that. Because obviously you can't stop or really control what's happening when you're not around, right? So let's just make sure that we are protecting our kids. Their egos are very, very fragile. I even posted on Facebook recently that I used to hate my voice because people would tell me I talk too much, my voice was annoying, I breathe too hard, I'm nosy, and all this other crap. Well, now I'm on a freaking radio station here in Seattle, Washington, and I just picked up 2 stations out of state. So it's like, hello. Obviously, my voice is not that damn annoying, and obviously me talking too much just came in handy. So let's not sit here and disrespect our children. Let's stop calling our children retarded. Let's stop calling our children fast. Let's stop. Let's instill our children with positivity, so when they do come around songs like WAP, or when they are put in a situation like B Simone and DaniLeigh, they don't come around talking about, oh my God, because she's Latin, because she's white, because she's educated, because she's tall, because she has pretty hair, because she's this. None of that should matter. She's just not you, period. You're not her, period. You're 2 different people, and that is how you should take that. At least that's what I do nowadays, child. It took me a second to get there, and I had to teach that to myself. It wasn't easy. But if we teach this to our children when we're younger, we are able to raise less damaged humans. At least that's what I think. Again, I don't have any kids. These are just my own personal thoughts on every single thing that I've talked about today. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this show. It's way longer than I thought it would be, child. Whew. However, I will be back in a couple weeks. And I say that because I actually have it's going to be a panel discussion about the Grammys and what people think about this year's Grammy nominations, what they want to see next year, and also the whole Tiffany Haddish situation and how they feel that it could have been handled differently. So stay tuned for that. It should be actually on the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. I definitely wouldn't have made that to be on the 21st. So it's either 23, it's either going to be the 22nd or the 23rd. Stay tuned for those flyers. And yeah, I will be back with a brand new episode of The Rewind with Besa in January, because obviously we have a lot of holidays popping up on Thursdays. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I would love to know your thoughts on everything I talked about. And as usual, make sure that you are your own vibe, and you already know you can keep up with me on social media at Naybesa. That's Naybesa.